Hello and welcome everybody. I'd just like to do a short video on some questions and things that have come in, questions and things that we didn't get to answer in our last series. Questions that have been emailed into me since, and a few things that come up quite regularly. So the first one is detox symptoms. Now this would be when taking the neutralizer. Now I take the neutralizer every day. I start off on 7 drops per dose, or half a teaspoon and a litre of water, and sip that throughout the day. So that's kind of the equivalent of giving myself 7 drops every hour or so throughout the day. It's always better to, with anything natural, is small doses often always work better. So symptoms. Now it's been 20 years since I first started using Miracle 2, so I don't remember having many symptoms. I do remember that I didn't have to eat as much because the hydrogen that's in there allows my stomach to digest food much better, and it also cleans out all the lining of my stomach. All the mucosal liner that gets clogged up with dyes and fillers and all sorts of crap from different things that we ingest. But from what I hear from other customers, symptoms can be things like tiredness, headaches, emotional blockages coming up to the surface, so emotional releases happening. As far as diarrhea or anything like that, I've rarely ever heard of it. People that do have constipation will use a neutralizer and it'll make them go a lot better. So it definitely allows you to digest, not the word, process, allows your stomach to process things better. So that's probably really the only symptoms I can think of. You may get aches and pains, things that are going on for you in your body may get worse before they get better. That's quite a common one, especially using the gel on the skin. It's drawing, that condition out. So obviously it's going to get worse before it gets better as it draws it out. And it's the same internally. Things get drawn out of the body, so they get brought up to the surface to be looked at and dealt with, and and if you don't want to deal with them, you push them back down and they'll stay there. But Miracle 2 is kind of an experience, so you'll experience in some form, way, shape or form. So I hope that makes sense for everyone. One of the other questions was neutralizer in water instead of using filtered water. Will it do the same thing, i.e. will it neutralize the water, will it filter the water? Now the neutralizer will neutralize what's going in the water, but really I want to get the neutralizer into me to work on myself. So if I use the neutralizer in the water just to fix up the water, then it's using all its energy to do that, and there's not much left for myself. So I always use filtered water anyway, the best water I can find, the best water I have at the time. And then I add the neutralizer in, so that, because I want the neutralizer to work for me, not cleaning up the water that I'm using. And it's the same with the bath. You want to be having a bath in the best water you have. If it's filtered water, if it's not filtered water, if it's town water and it's full of all sorts, then you might want to add extra soap and or neutralizer in there, just to help clean that up to begin with. Just checking my notes. Yeah, tiredness, headaches, similar things like that. I always only drink filtered water anyway, wherever I can. Now this brings me on to a question and something that comes up with a lot of people, and it's got to do with the smell of the Miracle 2 soap and the taste of the neutralizer. And pretty much I've never heard two people tell me that the neutralizer tastes the same. Like two people giving me the same taste from the neutralizer. It's wildly different for every person. And the same with the smell. It has its own intrinsic smell, just with the compounds that it's made of. But there's no added fragrances or chemicals or anything else that, some people experience when they're using Miracle 2. And, over the 20 years, I've been promoting Miracle 2 for 20 odd years now. And so, every person has their own experience and their own way they got introduced to Miracle 2 and their own way they use it. Some have just used the soap, some just use the gel, some just use the skin moisturizer, some use a mixture of all, some just use the deodorant stone. So, they don't get all these other benefits. But like I said, I've never had two people say the neutralizer tastes the same. And for myself, actually, the neutralizer for me tastes like baleen twine. And I've never tasted baleen twine, but I remember the smell as a kid. And whenever I take neutralizer liquid, it always reminds me of the baleen twine smell. And it's the same with the soap, with the green soap. I asked quite a few people in the last couple of weeks, what does it smell like? And a lot of people gave me an experience. They didn't give me a smell at all, which was quite unusual because I'm asking for a smell. But every now and then, for me, when I'm having the shower and I use the same foaming bottle in the shower, but every now and then I'll use it and I'll go, wow, there's a strong smell of beautiful roses, and it's one of my favorite smells. And every now and then it comes up and I go, wow, I haven't done anything. It's the same soap I used yesterday and it didn't smell like that yesterday. So Miracle 2 is very much an experience. So you have to understand, Miracle 2 is a high vibration product. It's literally a 5D product, that we can take into a fifth dimensional world and still be perfectly fine and okay to use there. And you got to remember it is a spiritual product. There's a lot of other stuff going on in there that we are not aware of. It has many properties in there that I can't explain myself, and I've been using it for 20 years. But I do feel like it's like an adaptogen. An adaptogen is something that adapts to what's going on in your life and your vibration and your energy field. What's happening for you in your life. What's coming up to be healed or looked at or released. As you raise your vibration and you continue on this journey of life. Just checking my notes. What else? And so everybody has their own experience of it. But for me, I get to see everybody's experience, and it's always different. And I've never seen a product like it that everybody experienced something quite different and sometimes remarkably different. So yes, people, it's why it's kind of hard to cold sell this product, because you have to experience it. And that's literally how I started. As I was running out the door in somebody's place, they went, wash your hands, and I did wash my hands and I left. They told me nothing about it. I knew nothing about it. But that night I went home and I had, as soon as I went to bed and closed my eyes, I had a huge spiritual experience. White lighted, it's probably the best way to explain it. And I've been promoting Miracle 2 ever since, and I knew nothing about it. So I had a huge download, and somehow I knew it was because of the soap. Don't ask me how. But anyway, what else have we got here? That's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to just really emphasize that Miracle 2 is an experience. It's not, some people just use it to wash their hands with. Some people use it to fix up certain conditions with. Some people use it for all sorts of things when other systems have let them down. And some people just use it because they're a high vibration person, whether they're a spiritual healer or shaman or wizard or all sorts of, I have all sorts of people from all walks of life using this product. So a lot of high vibrational people that are doing some really good work on this planet use this product, and that's the other thing. They also use it to help clear their own energies. So when we've been working with people who are out in public and they've picked up a lot of energies, they'll come home and have a show in the Miracle 2 because they know it removes any unwanted energies that are in their field. And you can even do that just by spraying the neutralizer straight over your field, and that will get rid of radiation and all sorts of things out of your field. So I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to reiterate a few of those things. I'll just check my notes. I've been trying to work out what Miracle 2 is across with, I don't know if anybody's ever used Ormus, but I feel it has very similar powers and properties to Ormus, but with a lot of other things added. There's also a detoxing effect. And there's also that adaptogen, adaptogen effect working. I'll just get back to my notes. And Diamond Conscious Energy also has a similar type thing. And if any of you have ever worked with Diamond Conscious Energy, and I work with it a lot, it's an adaptogen and adapts to what's going on in your field and what you need. So it's probably got that in it. So anyway, that's me for the day. I'd just like to come on and share this with you. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I look forward to hearing more of your stories and more of your questions and more of your experiences. So lots of love to all. And once upon a time you used to say, bless you, be less you. But now I say, be more you. So I wish you all be more you. Thank you very much.